College SportsCast, and we are presented by the Fanboys.
Oh, Brad, you already on. Let's see. Brad will be joining us in five, four, three, two,
And I'm back. Welcome to College SportsCast. I've got Jason Harrison with me tonight. What's up, Jason?
What's up? What's up, Brad?
How's the week been?
Hey, the week been weaking. You know how
I know my day today's been crazy. Like it was off the rails for a little while. I had to get it back on track.
Hey, I like that. I normally say, hey, trying to keep this thing in the road.
Man. And over the weekend, so my car messed up over the weekend. My ride messed up. But I got so lucky. You have no idea. So I was at a music fest. Okay. I was working. I was doing Bluegrass Brads. I was at a music fest and I was working and I'm pulling a trailer and everything and my car messes up and I've got a trailer there, and everything. So this music fest had a campground that was next to it. Okay. I'll tell you a quick story about all this. This music fest had a campground that was next to it. Okay. And half of these people that are coming to this music fest was camping out over there. Mm-hmm. So my car messes up and a guy, just a random dude that I had no idea who he was, comes down from the campground and says, "Hey man, I've got a mobile mechanic coming out to work on my truck. Would you want me to send him down here to you?" And I'm like, "You got a mobile mechanic coming out here?" And he said, "Yes, yeah, I do." I said, "He's going to be here in an hour or so. And when he's done with mine, I'll send him down so he can look at yours if you want me to." And I'm like, "That's totally awesome, dude." Like, you know what I mean? So he worked on this guy's stuff to like 4:30 or whatever. And then he rushed till dark. So my alternator went out.
Gotcha.
That's what was wrong with my vehicle. It wasn't crazy stuff. My alternator went out. Mm-hmm. And so he worked on mine for like 3 hours, sitting on the ground, you know what I mean? Not up in it, and got my alternator out and fixed my vehicle that night.
Boy.
I was like, okay, so I was so mad because my car messed up and everything. I don't know how I'm getting this trailer home, and everything. So and I'm trying to get the trailer set up and get to work and everything. And just this random guy that, just being a good Samaritan, comes down and says, "Hey man, I've got a mobile mechanic coming out. Do you want his help?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
And that means you've been putting some good synergy out in the world. And
yeah, man.
You've been doing some good, man, because I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason. Because your car was supposed to stop exactly where it was. Had you went any further
or anywhere else,
you just would have been stranded trying to call someone to come get you.
Yeah, like tow trucks. Everybody, that's like, tow trucks. I would have had a trailer stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it gets fixed right there that evening. I was like, holy cow. So I'm not saying that all of what's been going on the last 3 days has been bad, okay? There's been some good stuff too happen, but it's just been crazy. I mean, just crazy.
Yeah. Glad you're not stuck on the side of the road and you got to worry about doubling back and getting your trailer and things of that nature. So, man,
Yeah, man. And having tow, it costs to have something. I mean, I went to another town over, I had no idea where I was going to take it except for try to bring it back here,
Wow. Right.
So
glad you made it back. Glad you made it back.
Anyways,
Safe and sound.
I know that was a story that everybody probably didn't want to hear, but welcome to College SportsCast.
But it's so relatable. Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, it's just, it was terrible luck, but at the same time, awesome luck to be where I was when I was, and to have somebody with such a generous gesture, come out of the blue that I didn't know from. I still don't know the guy's name, not the guy who actually come down from the campground.
Great deal.
So anyways, I've had some good stuff and bad stuff, and I hope everybody else has had mostly good stuff happen since we last been on the show. That was Thursday. I did a show solo, Jason, on Thursday.
I did the show?
I did. I carried the show, and I think I did okay. I believe. I'm not sure, but I tried to.
Hey, listen, if you're carrying the show by yourself for the full length, did you go to full length or did you cut?
I did go the full length of the show.
So what are you saying, man? Listen, that's a remarkable feat in itself. You know how hard it is to talk to yourself
for an hour and a half.
You know how hard it is. You got to be borderline crazy to an hour and a half.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm not saying anything, but you had a job to do. That's the difference. You had a job to do to try to get it done, and you did. Now, some people did, for whatever reason, can talk to themselves for about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. But an hour and a half, man, look here. I wish we had the clapper somewhere. You deserve a round of applause.
Yeah, it was, for a little while I thought, well, so then I found a few topics and I don't know, I made it through. So, but so on Thursday when I was here, I did the Super Regionals preview show and went through each one. There was 16 teams remaining in the field and went through each one and tried to give a prediction for each one as well. And we'll get to how those went in just a minute. But right now I've got up on the screen to our right our Linktree page. And if you scan that QR code, it'll take you straight to our Linktree page. This is Linktree for College SportsCast, and it will allow you to go and see everything that we do and offer. You can go to our DeFanboys page. You can go to did you just hear a noise? Anyway, I thought I heard a little ding, but then there's nobody there. All right, so you can go to our Linktree page. You can find out everything we do. We got go to our DeFanboys page. You can go to our True Victory page. For shopping, use DeFanboys code. You can find our TikTok and our Instagram and our Twitter and everything that we do. Facebook page, YouTube. Go there and check us out. We would appreciate it. You can scan that QR code to the right of the screen, or you can find us at Linktree/College SportsCast. All right. I appreciate that, guys. Now, we'll get to some baseball talk and do some super regional coverage. So we'll start with Indiana State was at TCU. This is the one, Jason, I think I was telling you about last week, where Indiana State had the Special Olympics and it was going to be at TCU instead of at Indiana State.
They gave it up. They had TCU. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I was telling you about this. So TCU did win this series. I did pick TCU in this series. Their bats are just really hot, and getting that extra advantage to do it at home over the 1 seed Indiana State was probably a big deal. And TCU wins that series fairly handily. So they did advance to the College World Series this weekend. So congrats to TCU advancing to the College World Series. And then at the bottom there, we have Duke and Virginia played each other, 2 ACC schools. Duke did win the first game, and it's a best 2 out of 3 series. Duke won the first game. Virginia has been highly ranked all year. I think they were ranked around 6 or 7 towards the end of the year in the last poll there. And Duke's been kind of hot as of the last 2 or 3 weeks, and really played well the last 2 or 3 weeks. And they won game 1 at Virginia. But Virginia did come back and win games 2 and 3 and make the College World Series.
Hey, not only that, but I think we talked about it for a minute. It could be some surprises. And lo and behold, Oral Roberts. I think we talked about it.
That's the next one on my screen. Yeah, that's the next one on my screen. Yeah.
Lo and behold.
Yeah. Oral Roberts was a 4 seed in their region. In the region, they make it to the super region. There had only been 8 4 seeds ever make it to the super regional. Okay. And they went out to Oregon, Spokane.
Hey, tough place to play now on the road. Anywhere on the road is really tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, it can't like we. And I'm gonna double back what you said.
And they lost. If I'm not mistaken, they lost game 1.
They did. And so they had to come back and win 2 in a row.
Yes,
on the road.
They lost game 1 in Oregon, and then had to come back and win game 2 just to get to game 3.
Hey, man, that's mental toughness, Brad.
And then they did. They got to game 3 and beat Oregon 2 in a row on the road, and are headed to the College World Series. Now, I do know at least 2 or 3 of those other teams made it. There was one that won the whole thing. That was 2008 at Fresno State. They were a 4 seed, and they won the whole tournament. That's what Oral Roberts is going to try to do, at least get to a chance to do that this weekend. So Oral Roberts advanced to the College World Series. And then at the bottom of the screen there, we had South Carolina and Florida. And Florida was just a little bit too much for South Carolina.
Florida's been good all year. You know,
they have.
If you go 50 and 15, you know, you win 50 games. That's quite a remarkable feat. That's the barometer of you being a good team in college.
Yeah, and Florida was ranked at the end of the season. They were ranked number 2 in the country. So I mean, they were number 2 for a reason. South Carolina earlier in the season was a top 5 team, but they had a few injuries and had kind of fallen off that since then. But they lost game 1, I believe, like 5-0 or something like that, and then they never really. Florida was just too much for them, to be quite honest with you. They won both games. Matter of fact, Florida was the first team to win 2 games and advance to the College World Series this past weekend.
Wow.
They were the first team to advance. Then we go to Alabama played at Wake Forest. And Wake Forest was just way way too much. They beat Alabama 22-5 in one game. I mean, just killing the ball when you could score 22 runs in a baseball game. And it just wasn't much of a series, to be honest with you. Alabama in the second game, I believe, come back and tried to make somewhat of a series out of it, but it just wasn't a whole lot. Wake Forest looks like they are a team to be reckoned with in the College World Series here. I really think they're going to have a shot. So they advance, and then we go to Tennessee and Southern Miss. This is the one that was played in Hattiesburg.
There we go.
I said it right. They're the one that was played in Hattiesburg, and it was a little bit of controversy. Tennessee thought it should be at their house, and chosen at Southern Miss. Again, we talked about this last week. I don't really know if it was an accommodation problem or what the deal was, but there's other things that go into consideration for host of these sites as well. What's up, Tino? We got Tino in with us from the Real Fresh channel. He's in with a group of the Real Fresh channel. Tino is. So what's up, Tino? I appreciate you on with us. All right, so we're talking Tennessee and Southern Miss. This game went on to Monday. It was postponed like twice Monday night. And holy cow, like it was late. I know it was like midnight, and they were in like the third inning.
The game had to be played. It had to be played.
And when I woke up today, because they played Monday. Yeah. When I woke up today, Tennessee had won 5-0. So Tennessee advanced to the College World Series. We got Josh Hart on with us. Hey, what's up, Josh? I appreciate you being on with us.
What's going on, Josh?
So Tennessee advances to the College World Series, making 3 SEC teams in the final 8. So you have LSU, and you have Florida, and you have Tennessee. LSU and Tennessee are playing each other to start out with. They're matching up and playing each other to start out with. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a minute, but I just wanted to point that out, that they were playing each other.
Hey, you're Kentucky.
All right, let's get to Kentucky.
I was about to say, your Kentucky Wildcats put up a good fight. They put up a good fight.
Then we're going to get to Kentucky and LSU. And there was a huge controversy that happened on Saturday in this series. So the game was delayed twice Saturday because there was potential of weather, okay? Not because a storm was happening, not because lightning was near, not because rain was heavy or nothing like that. The sky was actually clear and blue, and they just didn't play. And they postponed the game twice. And I'm not talking about for 30 minutes. The first time it was postponed for 5 hours. Then the second time it was postponed for another 2 hours. All right. It was a pretty big controversy. They finally did. The game was supposed to be played at 2:00 our time. It was finally started around 9:00 our time, Central Time. 7 hours later, and Kentucky did start their Zach Lee, their top pitcher, and after all the delays and everything, it just didn't go good. LSU has possibly one of the best offensive lineups in the country. I said that before. They do. They killed the ball. They won 14-0 on Saturday night, late, when the game was supposed to be played at 2:00 in the afternoon. Then on Sunday, Kentucky put up a fight, and it was 5-3 going into the 8th. And LSU put across a few insurance runs, and Kentucky couldn't finish the game out and got beat 8-3. But I'm very, very happy and proud. Kentucky won 40 games in baseball this year. They went 40-21, counting those 2 losses. They were 40-19 going in, and Kentucky fans should be very proud of the team that they had this year. And you got to tip your cap to LSU, man. They just you've got some players on that team. Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens and Tommy Tanks, and I mean, you got some players on that team that are going to be very, very high Major League Baseball draft picks. I can promise you, in a little over a month, or something around a month, 100%.
I wanted to say that, and I'm glad you got through that. Man, the Kentucky Wildcats actually put up a good fight. Unfortunately, like you just said, and like my guy Joshua, unfortunately, it was a little bit of controversy and a little delay. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about delays. That can kill momentum that you have. And I think Kentucky was having some good momentum. And whoever it may be, the powers that be said, no. And let's just wait. And it really benefited LSU. It really benefited
Absolutely.
LSU.
I mean, them being at home and their home park, everything else, them having – I mean, Kentucky was definitely going to be in an uphill battle anyway. And to get in that mindset and the mind frame that we're going out this afternoon, and then to have it delayed twice when clear blue skies is going on because of weather – it's just, I don't know. And I actually spoke to an LSU podcast and told him it was a little crazy that this has happened. And, he said he was there. He said that it was an NCAA call, that it was not an LSU call. So I do want to point that out, that he says, and he's an ex-player, okay? So he won back-to-back championships, as a matter of fact. With LSU, baseball player. I'm not talking about football or none of that. He's a baseball player. 96, 97, 97, 98. I can't remember the exact years, but it's back-to-back years. He was a pitcher for them then anyway. So, and he runs a podcast called 60 Feet, 6 Inches podcast, which is the mound. He's a pitcher from the plate. So check him out. He's been on my show. He was a guest on our show one time. Chris DeMoy is his name. He's a great dude. Had fun with him. I just had to go and talk a little bit, try to understand exactly what was going on, because it seemed like it was BS. I mean, I'm with Josh. It seemed like it was BS that they were postponing this game like they was for weather when there was no sign of weather in the area. I mean, baseball games get canceled or postponed for rain all the time or for weather. I'm not saying that's strange, but what is really strange is when there's no weather going on, why are you postponing the game? I don't get it.
Hey, you got Joshua Hart.
Yeah. And that's how most – I mean, honestly, that's how most Kentucky fans felt about it. But like I said, I did talk to Chris. He's an ex-LSU player. He runs a podcast, and he was there, and he says that the these calls to delay the game were the NCAA, and that LSU and their fans were upset as well.
Yeah.
And didn't understand exactly what was going on and why it was being done that way too.
Right. But nevertheless, the show must go on, and unfortunately, your Kentucky Wild.
LSU goes to the College World Series. They beat Kentucky. Like I said, I'm going to tip my cap. They're a better team. It was going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
I know that. I just wanted to at least discuss the controversy in that series. And then late last night, the last game was Texas and Stanford. And Texas took a late lead, and Stanford come back in dramatic style and won last night by 1 run.
Home game for Stanford, right?
Yep, it was a home game for them. And they come back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they come back in late fashion, dramatic fashion, and win. I want to say it was 7-6 or 8-7 or something like that. I've seen.
And I like to say home field, home court, in whatever sport is an advantage. You get juiced playing in front, familiarity, playing in front of your particular fan. And so I want to double back. Like, it was very, very unfortunate that Indiana State couldn't do that.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Indiana State.
Because I feel like, they would have played their best ball at home.
In front of the home fans, in that crowd and stuff. It definitely makes a difference.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. You see it in every level.
Baseball fans are right there on the field. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're just 50 feet away from the action.
One thing about baseball that I do love is that, especially in college, it still gives you that high school little league feeling.
Yeah,
because you're right there.
Well, I mean, even you go to a minor league game and it does.
It's
really
the same way. Other than the other than the big show, other than the show, where you have these huge,
right,
baseball.
But if you go to a minor league stadium, it gives you that feel too. Most of the time,
it gives you that feel. It gives you that feel, and so that's why I'm not gonna lie. I love watching. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I will be in Orlando, and I will actually be at the bar watching college baseball. Because look at it, it's nothing else on TV to watch right now. There's nothing else on TV to watch.
No. So this weekend on Friday, the College World Series will begin on Friday. We'll at least set up the games. So Oral Roberts is playing TCU.
Mm-hmm.
This again will be in Omaha. This won't be home or all that. These games are played in Omaha, Nebraska. They're going to the College World Series in Omaha. So Oral Roberts plays TCU on Friday. Virginia plays Florida. That is number 7 versus number 2 in rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the Friday games. And then Saturday games, number 8, Stanford plays number 1, Wake Forest. And then Tennessee plays number 5, LSU on Saturday. Now, this is a double elimination tournament out of the 8 games, or 8 teams, I'm sorry. And the 2 that are left standing that does not have 2 losses goes on to the College World Series final the next weekend. And that's a best 2 out of 3 series.
Hey, and that's not, like I said, I will be not this weekend.
So the next 2 weekends, you got this weekend coming up, will be the 8 teams vying to get to the final. Gotcha. And then the next weekend will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think it might be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I believe it is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now that I think about it, then that will be the finals, College World Series finals. So you take the top 2 teams out of this, and they make it to the finals. And like I said, this is a double elimination. So you don't go home if one of these teams lose the first game on Friday or Saturday, the ones I just set up.
Okay, so I thought he went into the last weekend of June. I thought the championship.
It does. It's like the 20 it goes to like the 26th or something like that. That Monday would be the 26th, I believe.
I'm looking at it right now because I was like, last year I remember this time.
Yeah, it's like the 24th, 25th, and 26th or something like that. Okay. is the finals.
Okay. Yeah, because last year I think it was 26, 27. I was watching Ole Miss win last year.
Yeah.
And so I was at the bar watching. And
Ole Miss was in it last year. Yeah.
Yeah. We won it.
Yeah. I know you were probably watching that. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, listen. You gotta count them victories when you can, especially coming out the SEC now. Especially.
Hey, listen. Any title that you can win in any sport is an accomplishment.
I think LSU.
I don't care.
LSU might be. LSU, you know what I'm saying? Force.
Yeah. I mean, if I was picking favorites right now, I would pick LSU, Wake Forest, and Florida as the 3 teams that are likely to get close and be there. You know what I mean? Like, now only 2 can make it, but
the likelihood.
Now, if I'm picking a dark horse, then I might pick Oral Roberts.
That's the dark horse. Hey, listen, I'm going to look on those odds, and I might place a wager.
Yeah, I mean,
Oral Roberts. Hey, listen, if I'm not much of a betting man, but Oral Roberts, they probably have some pretty good odds.
They probably have some long odds. Like if they were to, and they've got a great team and putting up numbers, man. I mean, so I wouldn't count them out. That's for sure.
I would, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't count them out.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't count them out. Even if they lose the first game, you can't count them out.
No, because a mental toughness, like you said, you got to have a mental toughness. Look at Josh. Josh just said, I'm riding with Oral Roberts. Hey, listen, that might be one bet I will take on a dark horse.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised because anytime, even if you win 40 games, if you win 50 games, you have a pretty good.
I'm pretty sure they're 51. They're 51 and Oral Roberts is.
Pretty good damn ball club.
40's a good season.
40 is a good season, but 50 is a great season. You have some guys who are collectively doing it together and playing for one another, and so that's worth mentioning. So, hey, Oral Roberts will be well represented in Omaha. I can guarantee you that. They will be well represented.
Oh, yeah, because, the underdog in Omaha, the fans are going to, the underdogs, that's who everybody's going to, that's who all the other fans are going to pull for when their team's not playing is Oral Roberts. Everybody likes to see an underdog, right?
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody likes to see an underdog. So,
and you're right, Josh. And that's what we're talking about. They have anytime you have 50 wins, that means they are playing for one another. And they have great chemistry. You're exactly right,
yeah. They have 51 wins and only 12 losses over the entire season. So, listen, they are not going to be an easy out. Oral Roberts is not.
And they can easily. I can already see it. You're saying it. I'm seeing it. Man, Omaha, those fans, those baseball enthusiasts down there, they love
those
it.
Nebraska,
If they
those
win,
Omaha fans.
come on now.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And that's
they're going to be pulling.
Scene. That's a beautiful scene. One day I'm going to make that. One day I need to put that on.
That's a bucket list thing for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Go down.
Yeah,
there.
That's to make it to Omaha for the College World Series. That's definitely a bucket list thing right there for sure.
Super Bowl in Omaha. Those my two.
Yeah.
Go to the Super Bowl in Omaha.
Yeah, that's definitely a bucket list thing right there for sure. I agree with you 100% on that one, man.
No doubt.
All right, so before we move on from the bat sports, I do want to give a shout out to the Oklahoma women's softball team. They win 2 the games in the final for the College World Series against Florida State. They won like 5-1, and I want to say 5-0 or something. I can't remember now exactly. It was the last Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe, were the games. But they are maybe the most dominant team in NCAA sports right now. They have 3-peated. They won 60 games to 1 loss.
And how many in a row? 52 or 53 games in a row? Man, that, and I heard some of the young ladies when they were being interviewed was saying to be actually to stay in the moment. It was staying in the moment. And all the pressure of this year, staying in the moment, the journey, it was a lot for them, and for them to accomplish a 3-peat. Listen, everybody doesn't win 3 championships in a row. I don't care what sport you're playing.
You go look around college athletics. Name me somebody that has a 3-peat.
That's what I'm saying. That's unheard of. That like back to back to back. I've only heard what was that? The Lakers? Did the Spurs do? I don't think the Spurs did.
Spurs didn't do it either.
The Bulls. The Bulls won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
The Lakers never did it. I mean, the Boston Celtics obviously did it back in the day. Pittsburgh
back in the day, they did. Yeah.
Did the Pittsburgh Steelers? Did the Steel Curtain won? I don't know if did the Cowboys win 3 in a row?
I don't think the Cowboys have ever won 3 in a row either.
But Josh said the Cowboys, so I'm like you have to really think about UCLA
won 7 in a row. Okay,
so UConn
in basketball,
UConn probably did it, but
UConn really girls probably done it. Yeah,
you really have to think about a 3-peat. Like that is.
I'm not even sure that like Pat Summitt at Tennessee won 3. She won back to back.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
Yeah. The Cowboys won back to back. I think they went back to back.
The Cowboys won 3 out of 4. They won 3 out of 4 one time.
They went back to back and then missed a year.
And then won again. They won 3 out of 4 one time, but they've never won. They've never had a 3-peat.
That's tough, man. That is tough, man. That just shows the resilience and the dedication, and you have to be laser sharp focused
every day. I mean, like there no letdowns. And
That's pressure because every game for the opponent is their championship. Every game.
Softball World was talking about Montana Fouts, I think is her last name. She was a pitcher with Alabama, and talking about what great pitcher she was and her accomplishments and all this. But now I'm telling you right now, for a team to do what Oklahoma Sooners softball team just did, to 3-peat in the dominating fashion that they've done it this season is incredible and nearly unheard of.
Man, that's
in all of sports.
Yeah, that's very remarkable. And like I said, I know Gino did it when he had those stellar teams. I know, like I said, the Lakers and the Bulls, and
on the collegiate level, as far as three-peats, the only thing I can remember, Gino probably did it, and the UCLA done it in basketball.
I know Breanna Stewart did it. Didn't she do it? I think she did it 3 out of 4 years, right? I think she got upset one year when Breanna Stewart was at UConn. I remember Gino when he won his, but and then the Florida Gators, they went back to back.
They went back to back. Yeah, they won 2.
Back to back. Yeah, won 2, which to me was a huge deal because I seen an interview with Joakim Noah and Kevin Garnett, and he just said, that second year they did it, it wasn't as fun because it was more business. It was like
just pressure.
Everybody, pressure. Everybody was coming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pat Summitt may have. I don't know.
And to do that, I don't think if you go back and look, I'm not sure that she won back to back.
Man.
But I'm not sure that she ever three-peated. I know Pat Summitt won back to back. I know that for sure.
Yeah, you had to go back to those John Wooden UCLA days for somebody doing that. I think he had a run. He had a 2-3 year run.
They won
when they were under. Yeah, so
they won 7 in a row. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
UCLA did.
Man,
they won.
But yeah, shouts out.
Yeah.
Oklahoma girls. It would never be. I don't think they'll be able to duplicate this again because for 3 years, and then I read that the top pitcher is going home. It's transferring to Nebraska to play her. I forget. I want to say it.
Oh, really?
Like this, one of the top pitchers said they're going home just to, finish out their collegiate career because I don't think you can just. I don't think you can strike lightning in a bottle in these modern 4 years in a row.
Golly, man. I mean, just dominant fashion the way that they've done it this year. And to already be back-to-back champs and to have that pressure and to do what they've done in the dominating fashion that they've done it is incredible. I mean, it just is. And you have to give them some props to their coach, to their coaching staff, to their organization, all their players, to their families, to keep those kids and those girls as dedicated and anybody and everybody. I mean, it's an incredible feat. So I just wanted to bring it up.
It was. Yeah, kudos. Kudos to that coaching staff to keep those young ladies focused and sharp and to. You see what I'm saying?
You know how it is to play. Training. You got to stay hungry.
Yeah, man, because it's in these times. Think about this. We don't know about any NIL name, image, and likeness for those ladies. You don't know what they've been doing.
I'm sure some of their stars are getting some, but I bet you every player on that team. Maybe because
they should have something for a team-wide. Teams they're on.
Yeah, maybe because they're such the stellar team. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to move on. I'm going to go and we're going to talk about Howie Fresh for a few minutes at the Real Fresh channel. Always try to get something in for him while we are doing these shows. He is part of our DeFan Boys team, and we are featured on his channel. College SportsCast is on Sunday nights, but he has lots of other podcasts and features. He has a couple of shows, 2 or 3 shows himself. So I'll let him talk and y'all can hear from Howie.
Hey, I am Hal Fresh here to tell you about the Real Fresh channel. That's right, youtube.com/the Real Fresh channel. We are a network aiming to bringing you various content each and every day, different types of podcasts, different type of content, anything from college sportcast and fresh takes for some sports. We also got You Want to Do What? We got the Wrestling Corner. We got live stream. Just go over to youtube.com/the Real Fresh channel and hit us up today. Thank you for checking it out. Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. That was Howie Fresh with the Real Fresh channel. Like I said, he is the Fanboys team that we are on, so I always try to get him in there. Y'all check him out at the Real Fresh channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing I'm going to get to real quick is I'm going to get to our True Victory. Y'all check out truevictory.com. Go there. You can also scan this QR code that's coming up on the screen. Scan this code, and you can go straight to the online shop. They have men's, women's, and accessories to shop with there. There's all kinds of stuff. So you can check them out. They are a veteran-owned company, sportswear, and first responders and veteran-owned as well. And they are a great company, have great gear. I have a shirt. I had it on last week with the show. One of the shows I did, I think it was the one with Jason last week. I had it on. And go there, get you some cool gear. You can buy you a gift card for Dad. Father's Day is Sunday. It's a digital gift card. You can buy you a gift card for Dad. Check it out. The gift cards are $10, $25, $50, and $100. And Dad can pick out whatever cool gear hat that he wants. So
I just sent that to my dad. I just took it and sent it to him and said, "Hey, man, what do you want?"
Yep.
I literally just
you can buy Dad. You don't even have to buy something and have it shipped and all that. You can buy Dad a gift card. Use our code to Fanboys for that 15% discount. You can buy Dad a gift card. It's a digital one. You just give him the code for it, and then he can shop and buy whatever he wants. And you can do that for Dad for Father's Day. It would be a great idea, great way to purchase something for Dad, and you don't even have to worry about it getting there on time. So check it out. Scan the QR code. And do a little bit of shopping.
Hello.
Don't forget to use our code to Fanboys for a 15% discount. All right, I'm going to leave that up on the screen a little bit while we move on to our next segment of the show. So, a couple things that I want to talk about. The Big Ten. You know, we've talked about the SEC schedules. The Big Ten this past week, they come out with their 2024 and 2025 schedules. Talk
to me, Brad.
Yeah, they come out with their schedules this week for football. This is football, 2024, 2025. And the reason why it's a big deal is because UCLA and USC is joining the Big Ten, and they're doing away with divisions. I think everybody is. They're doing away with divisions.
You got to.
Yeah, but they are going to a 9-game schedule. Now, here's what I don't like about the 9-game schedule that hardly anybody talks about. So, 9-game schedule, 1 year. You get 5 home games and 4 away games. The next year, you get 4 home games and 5 away games.
Yeah.
And I think that it makes for a very unbalanced schedule throughout the league.
Well, I would differ because if the first year you're getting 5 home games and 4 away games, and if you flip flop, you're giving everybody a chance to host games. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you are. I mean, over the 2 years, it's balanced. But what I'm saying is for that one season in 2024, there are some teams that have a really tough schedule with an extra, with an extra tough away game.
Yeah.
And then there are some teams who have their tough games all at home and have an easier away schedule.
Well,
for that 2024 season. So my issue with it is that each year, if you look at each year individually and you go up and down the balance of the conference for that year, to me it's pretty unbalanced. It's like there's a big gap, if you ask me.
Well, you do know with change, everybody is not going to feel like they have an advantage. And no matter what, it's going to be top teams, they're going to be bottom teams. And so each and every year, it's going to be a dogfight. Not only for the Big Ten, I've heard rumors about the Big 12. I mean,
UCLA, their 2024, I think it was the 2024 season that I seen. Mm-hmm. They're gonna need frequent flyer miles, man. I mean, first of all, they're going to Hawaii to start the season, early in the season, okay? Mm-hmm. That's over 5,800 miles. Then, this is round trip. Then, their closest away Big Ten team is Indiana.
Wow.
Okay? That's their closest away trip is Indiana. It's over 3,600 round trip miles. And their furthest one is Rutgers. I mean, can't y'all just wait to see Rutgers and UCLA play a football game?
That's from. Hey, I did that, Brad. I flew from Phoenix to DC just to get back home.
Yeah.
So listen,
So you're talking. I think it's like 5,900, almost 6,000 miles round trip from UCLA to Rutgers.
That's tough.
For one weekend.
That's tough. Boy, that's tough.
I guess you'll fly in on a Friday night, fly out Saturday night or Sunday morning. I mean,
yeah, you got to come in on a Friday. You have to come in on a Friday and leave out on a red eye on a Sunday.
Yeah. So, anyways, the Big Ten come out with their schedule. They're doing away with divisions, and they are going to a 9-game schedule. Again, you get 5 home games one year, 4 the next. Opposite, 4 away, 5 away. They did release a 2-year schedule, 2024 and 2025. You can go online and check that out. You can find your team schedule if you are a fan of Nebraska or Illinois or Indiana or whoever that you may be a fan of. You can check out the schedules because the Big Ten did release their schedules this week. Football talk with Bo. What's up, Bo? We got Bo on with us. I appreciate it, Bo. Bo is part of the Let's Talk Sports and Sideline Sports deal, and I appreciate Bo being on with us. He's got a great football show. You can see there, Ball Talk with Bo. Bo knows football.
Nice drop.
Yeah. Bo knows football. That's for sure. Bo, check out our Victory Sportswear there. Use our fanboys 15% off discount. We'd appreciate it. It'll help us out, get you some cool gear. Buy something for your dad. Father's Day's this weekend. Buy something for your dad. If you're a dad, buy something for yourself.
There you go.
Hey, listen, us dads, we take care of everybody else.
I seen a tweet today, and it was from one of the young ladies I follow. It says, and she said, and I quote, "Hey guys, what kind of socks y'all want for Father's Day?" You see what I'm saying? Like that's Father's Day, Mother's Day. It's Paige. Every kid.
Oh, I know. What kind of elaborate and guys, we're taking care of everybody else. We don't do jack. We don't buy nothing for ourselves. Hardly ever. Do you? Because I don't. I can tell you that.
I buy when I know I need to go somewhere. And I'd be like, you know what? I don't have X. I don't have Y. I don't have Z. And then I have to go get something. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're right. You're right, man. You're totally right.
Anyways, scan the code, buy something for your father. Scan the code, buy something for yourself. Father's Day.
There we go. Yeah, listen, Bo.
Cook for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Bo he hit the nail right on the head. He hit the nail right on the head.
That's Father's right, Day
is the only day that you end up grilling.
Yep.
For yourself.
You got to grill for yourself.
I can understand that.
Dad, what are you grilling out today? What? Well, Mother's Day, we're taking her out to some special restaurant, classing it all up. Yep.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. As I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I almost forget about Father's Day until you mentioned it. Like it probably would have come.
It's this Sunday now.
Yeah, make sure I do something nice for my pops, man. I'm gonna do something nice for my pops.
Yeah, man. Seriously. I actually found out in the last few days that my dad's going to be out of town, so he's going to see. So my stepmom has a granddaughter that's graduating high school, and they live in New Jersey, so they're behind. You know, they go to school later and stuff like that. Start back later, so. Her graduation is this coming week, and Judy missed her older sister's graduation, and she don't want to miss this one. So Dad promised her that he would take her up there, but it just so happens that it's the week of Father's Day. So anyway, for my dad, I want to say Happy Father's Day. So
no doubt.
Hopefully, he'll have a safe trip back and forth.
No doubt.
I mean, Bo says, what did he say there? Said he's in Seattle. I know somebody in Seattle. Yeah, he said, I'll probably be on the grill. All right, man. I'll send some my way. Send some my way. All right, so talking about some football stuff, Pac-12, are they actually going to finish a TV deal?
Man, listen, when I heard Colorado involved, listen, my guy Dion, they can get it done. You know, I think that would be
Are they actually? there's even today, this morning, there was On3 guy that come out and was talking about that he really thinks that they're getting close and that they might finish a deal before the end of June.
I think with everything going on, and once again, this is the Dion effect.
It is. So Dion's helping push all this stuff.
Yeah, it's the
and
Dion effect.
They say they're getting close to that 31.6 million mark. And the reason why 31.6 million is important is because that is what the TV share was for the Big 12 when they signed their deal last year. Gotcha. So the share, this is after Texas and Oklahoma leave the Big 12.
Yeah.
All right. The Big 12 made a big splash and signed a deal, TV deal, that the teams will get a $31.6 million share that are remaining in the Big 12. Man. Now, 12 has been trying for 5 months to get a deal together, had all kinds of stuff falling short, and now there's rumors that they are using some streaming services to finish up their deal. You know, most of the time, you look at ESPN or CBS or NBC or Fox or one of the big networks. Mm-hmm. There's talk that Apple TV and Amazon and a few other streaming service people are in on the Pac-12 deal. They have not released any numbers yet, but the magic number that everybody is trying to see is that 31.6 million. And the reason why that's important is a whole lot of it is because of Dion. Because Dion has already been saying Colorado is ready to jump ship and go to the Big 12, depending on what he sees out of the Pac-12 TV deal.
At the end of the day, you need a polarizing figure to uplift the Pac-12. You got to have it, because if you're losing teams from, like you said, if they don't even be the Pac-9, you're right. Because if you're losing teams, listen, because Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, like you just got on here, Colorado will move to the Big 12.
Yeah,
Colorado could do that and join that, and that could easily be done, because the way with all the money that is being thrown around in collegiate sports, man, listen, if you don't get it done, you're gonna lose Colorado, and then you're gonna lose the Wild.
Well, so Arizona is supposed to be in a package deal with Colorado if things don't work out right. So
exactly,
here's the deal: if they don't hit that magic number, or right at that magic number of 31.6 million per team share, the Pac-12's in trouble.
Major.
But now here, and by trouble, I mean trouble of banishing is what I'm talking about. So now
all teams.
Yeah, because Arizona State's probably going to go with them. Utah is probably going to go with them. All right. And the Big Ten is ready to pounce on Oregon and Washington and Stanford, and they're ready to pounce on these teams. So the Pac-12 is going to go.
I don't think the Pac-12 wants to lose.
They've been saying they're building a little bit of power back right now. San Diego State has made no secret that they want in to the Pac-12.
I can see that.
All right.
I mean,
San Diego State,
they're right there. They're right there.
San Diego State has been clamoring to be able to join and leave the Mountain West and join the Pac-12. And there is talk, and I don't know if if it's quite as done as the San Diego State deal, but there's talk that SMU out of Dallas might be that second team and tap into the Dallas market with SMU. Right. As that, because they need two teams to be Pac-12. You know, I mean, they don't have to, but there's talk that SMU and tap into the Dallas market might be that second team.
That is major for SMU. They have to do that because they're going to be. Look at Texas Tech, TCU.
They're all in the Big 12.
Yeah,
except
because Texas is going to the SEC, but you still have Texas Tech, like I said,
Baylor.
You have Baylor, you have TCU, and I'm missing one more, but SMU obviously. So SMU doesn't want to just be in a conference for basketball. They want to be in a football conference, like you said, because as long as they're in a top conference, they can recruit. And that's the name of the game. You know, we talk about it all the time. The name of the game is not X and O's, it's Jimmys and Joes. So you got to get those Jimmys and Joes in there to your program. And you have to give them a reason to want to come to SMU. You know, if we're not playing in this borderline basketball, quote-unquote, conference, and you're playing in a dominant football conference, you're going to get football players.
SMU would benefit being in the Pac-12.
Major.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The SMU has always tried to be a powerhouse in football, cheated to do it when they needed to a long time ago. Got killed for it, too.
We talked about that a long time. We talked about that. The Pony Express.
I love the Pony Express, okay? I was a little kid. I didn't know. I just saw it on the football field, and they were freaking awesome. I love Tony Dorsett. I still, to this day, he's one of my all-time favorites. So
Eric Dickerson was one of those guys.
I mean, did I say Tony? Eric Dickerson is what I meant to say.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We talked about it. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, Eric Dickerson is one of my all-time favorites. I don't know why I said Tony Dorsett. He was Pittsburgh. I know where he played ball. Anyways, I got a phone call and got distracted, so I was trying to see who it was. Eric Dickerson's one of my all-time favorites. I loved him when I was I loved him at SMU. I mean, so Dickerson's definitely one of my all-time favorites, and I really do think that if SMU could get in Pac-12, I think that would be a huge thing for them.
Yeah, it would be a huge thing.
All right, Bo is still on with us. What does Bo say about this Pac-12, Big 12 talk we've been saying here? Get it up on the screen where I can see it a little better. If those are the additions, it'll be hard for the Pac-12 winner to be a legit shot at the national title, going undefeated. You know, listen, the Pac-12 is at a loss. I mean, they're losing the Los Angeles market. They're losing USC and UCLA. So, you know, they're in a bind, Bo. I mean, San Diego State is clamoring to be in the Pac-12. I actually think it would be a great addition. They play decent football. They have a great last 10, 12, 15 years basketball program, made the national title game last year. SMU, I don't know. I'm hearing that might be who they're going after, is what I'm hearing. Josh says SMU to the Big 12. Wouldn't that make more sense? Listen, yes, but there's already a whole bunch of Texas teams in the Big 12, and maybe SMU's always been a little different. I can actually see them wanting to hold that Texas market in their own league without all the other Texas teams. It kind of makes a little sense to me on that side of it for SMU. They've always been the oddball out, SMU in Texas. They've just been that team and been the oddball out, SMU has. And if they can find their way as a power team in another power conference and be the leader of that conference for the Texas market, I think that would be attractive to them. That's just my opinion. But I followed ball all my life, and if I was a betting man, I would think that would be attractive to SMU. All right, so then we're going to move on real quick and do a touch with the new NCAA president, Charlie Baker, was in Washington, D.C. with a group of SEC coaches and leaders and administrators and a bunch of other administrators and coaches and stuff as well. And they were in Washington, D.C. Charlie Baker is doing his best to get the House and Senate to work on some bills. I did write an article about this on stadiumrant.com, talk about the powerful leaders are headed to Washington, D.C., so check that out. I just wanted to bring it up. Charlie Baker is a ex-Massachusetts governor, and he is now the new NCAA president. And he was hired with the hope that he might be able to bring, he might be able to bring some power back to the NCAA. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get some legislation formed so that the NCAA again has more power, where it's not left to each state separately, and it is a unified effort that the NCAA can stand over top of each state and it be all one instead of 50 separate government states saying they can do this and they can do that. So I wanted to bring that up on the show tonight real quick.
Kudos to Charlie Baker, who's trying to quote unquote govern this, but I will say, and like I told you, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very, very hard to bring the legislative in and try to govern what's going on, because they can probably succeed on, hey, it's a cap. This is the amount of money. This is the max amount of money that can be given to a player. But you're still going to deal with guys who are going to go under the table. You're still going to deal with that, Brad. It's still going to be a situation.
Listen, you got people like SMU that's always trying to break the rules. I mean,
And so it's one of them situations. I think that it needs to be
during Kansas. I mean, SMU.
I can say this: there needs to be a cap on what the ceiling is for the top tier 1% guys that are going to the league and you want to make sure you take care of. There has to be kind of like they did with the NBA rookies, because back in the day with the NBA rookies, they used to come in and hold out for massive amounts of money until they did a rookie scale.
Until they did the rookie scale, yeah.
I think it needs to be a scale, not only a scale, but a trust. Okay, we're going to put this in trust, and so once you leave college, you can get all this. Meaning graduate or going pro, this is your money. We're going to give you some of this, but we're going to put this money into a trust. So when you leave college, when your college eligibility is over, this is your money. You see what I'm saying? So I can see that happening. Give them a percentage of their money that they can earn. Because if not, it's going to be like Josh just said, it's going to get out of control. It's already out of control because
it is. It absolutely is out of control. And I actually, we had a debate about this last week, and I don't want to get into a big debate. Last week I didn't really bring up Charlie Baker's name. I just wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out that he is working, and he is the NCAA president now, and he is hoping to be able to unify things a little bit more and to be able to get a unified situation where they can empower some rules and regulations and stuff like that. So I wanted to give that a shout out. I do have our merch shop up on the screen right now. You can scan that QR code, use Watch CS Cast for a 15% discount code on our own College SportsCast merch shop. We have about 10 or 12 shirts there and a couple of coffee mugs and things to check out. So check those out. If you're a softball or volleyball, women's basketball, baseball, football fan, we've got a shirt for you. So check those out. And again, scan that QR code, take you straight to our shop. Use the code WATCHCSCAST to get a 15% discount. All right, so a couple of things real quick on basketball side of things I wanted to bring up with you, Jason. They are changing the block charge rule in college basketball. Thank goodness.
What are they doing?
So they passed it where basically once you leave your feet, a guy can't run up under you
get a charge.
And no, the defensive guy can't run up under and get the charge, basically. Yeah. Which I think is the right call to make. The chart, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Jason's the ex-NCAA college basketball player, not me, okay? But I've been a basketball fan and coached a long time and played and coached a long time in my life.
Basketball is basketball.
I think that the block charge rule in college basketball right now is about the ugliest, most crazy missed call sports, period. I'm an old school guy. Jason knows this. I'm an old school guy. In the old school way of setting a charge, you had to have 2 feet down, not moving your feet, and you got your chest over in front of somebody, and I'm going to get a charge.
No doubt.
I mean, I absolutely hate the way the block charge is called in today's game. There is nothing that drives me more insane than watching sports and having a call like that. I can't stand how you can, just slide over. Here I go. I'm taking a charge, y'all. I mean, I just, I can't stand it. It blows my mind the way it happens in today's game. You should have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this actually helps the block charge call, because according to what the way this is written, it says that you have to be in place and you have to be there before the offensive player leaves his feet?
I think that it's a situation that, it's a bang bang play. Sometimes it's a bang bang play, right? And you have to determine if the defender is there before. And so what's going to happen? Mark my word, Brad, and I'm never wrong, but I might be wrong. It's going to be a situation that a lot of kids, it's going to be a lot of replays with this particular call. It's going to be a lot of replays because they're going to have to go to the monitor and get the call right. Because if a guy jumps and one official calls her and the other one calls her, they're going to have to go to the replay. It's going to prolong the game. And hopefully it doesn't take long for them to see that. But this call will always be subjective to, let's go to the monitor. Let's go to the monitor. Let's go to the monitor.
Well, so they're going to go to the monitor for goaltending more often now too.
Okay. I'm a component of make sure you get the call right, because one play can change the course of a game. You talking about
it can, but man, I'm going to tell you, it has really prolonged the game. Like some of these basketball games anymore, college games, are 2.5 hour blocks, and they used to be like an hour and 50, hour and 55 minutes, hour and 50 minutes.
Hour and 45. But at the same
time, some of these games are damn near 2 hour and 30-minute blocks for a college basketball game right now.
But when you look at it, Brad, like, you don't want to be in a situation you lose a game because of an official. Every game is critical. Think about if you're an NCAA team on the bubble.
Put a timer on some of these.
That's what needs to be done. You're right.
Some of these things, like, it takes them 7-8 minutes before they come back with a decision. Like,
you need a minute and a half. You need a full timeout.
Like, come on, man. I mean,
you need a full timeout. The course of a full timeout is normally a minute. In college, it might be a minute 10.
A minute and a half, 2 minutes tops. If you can't figure it out in 2 minutes, then I mean,
let's move on. Let's move on. It is what it is. Inconclusive. Let's go.
Right. Absolutely. Because some of this stuff in the college basketball game last year, you're watching these games and they interrupt the game. I mean, hell, these kids can go take a shower and come back.
Hello. It's just that long. They have to warm up and say, "You're right."
I mean, like, come on, man.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I mean, it's the truth. Like, I remember watching a few games this year, and I'm like, unbelievable. I mean, how in the world can they stop? And I'll tell you another thing that I do not like about the replays. While we're talking about it, I do not like that they allow the coaches to use the replay as an extra timeout.
Well, you just said it now. If they're taking 7 to 8 minutes,
I agree with you on that one.
How can you not use it as timeout? How can you not use it?
I agree with you on that one, but it should be much quicker than that, and you should not allow. Because I noticed, like, late in the game, especially, there was a few games in the tournament. I mean, you're talking about tournament games where a team is out of timeouts, and they're stopping to play like 3 times in the last 2 minutes, 4 times in the last 2 minutes, and it's 2 or 3, 4 minutes each time, and they're allowing these coaches and these teams to use that stoppage as a timeout. And I just don't like that. It's an advantage.
That's why we say a minute and a half. Because if they're going to use it and give them a timeout, that's all they need. A minute make a decision. Everybody looking at the camera view. Hey, let's make a quick decision and keep the game going. Like you said, keep the game going.
Bo, I appreciate you being on with us tonight. He's got a comment here I was going to throw up here. this was about the NIL stuff, I believe.
I agree with him. I agree. I would like to see it. Rule go away for kids that aren't, and then I actually allow those D1 kids to make. Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, hey, if guys want to go and be professionals, listen. If you can do, if baseball and tennis and soccer, you can turn pro at 14, 15, I say go for it. But football is a different type of sport. It's a more violent sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if
it's been cleaned up over the past couple of years. It's been cleaned up, but I would like to see the rule change for football players from 3 years to 2 years. I think you have a much more exciting college football product because they know if they can leave after their sophomore years, yes, and then you'll get guys coming in less banged up. You know, they'll be able to, go through those medical examinations a little bit more better. You know, a lot of them are damaged goods before they even get to the NFL. And so, I would like to see. I would like to see that too. And
it would hurt the college game quite a bit, and that would be a little sad.
I don't think it would hurt it. I don't think it would hurt it because now you would have kids choosing to go to schools and staying there and just waiting their chance to get their 2 years done, 3 years
done. Instead of all the transfer stuff.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If I could play a good 2 years, if you can do one and done in the college basketball area, why not be able to do two football? Because a lot of people will sit out a whole year or love to get redshirted. So,
Right. Well, I got up on the screen. We're part of Let's Talk Sports, and they are now part of Sideline Sports. So we're being featured there. There is a Strim.com channel that Let's Talk Sports and Sideline Sports has put together. Check it out. Sideline Sports, Strim.com. And College SportsCast is at some point in time going to be featured on there. Bo, that is with us, I think is one of them is going to be featured on that channel as well. And I appreciate him being on with us tonight. I want to give him a shout out there for Let's Talk Sports and Sideline Sports. Again, that was Strim.com. You can check it out, a Sideline Sports channel. We are College SportsCast. We are on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central. And in season, we're on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Time on Sunday afternoons. Since the last few weeks, we've not been doing our Sunday shows. We're winding down our season. Season 1. Matter of fact, I think this is episode 120. I'm pretty sure, Jason.
Wow.
I think this is episode 120. You can scan our code there to the right of the screen, by the way, for our swag, and check out our merch shop there. But I'll get to this. So we're winding down season 1. We've got, I believe, 4 more shows. When college baseball is over, we're going to do a recap show and a celebration show for season 1 on 2 weeks from tonight, June 27th. And then we're going to take a short break. We're not going to take a long break. SEC Media Days is coming up in July. We have a summer series that we're going to do for that, for SEC Media Days. And then in August, each Tuesday, starting on August 1st, each Tuesday night, we will do a preview and breakdown of the 5 major conferences. Start with the Pac-12, and we will go Big 10, ACC, Big 12, and SEC in consecutive Tuesday nights. And then at the end of August, we'll be back full bore season 2 for for football, basketball, and baseball. So we appreciate all the fans that's been with us this year and stayed with us this year. Jason joined us like in November, and we appreciate Jason being on with us, man. And I hope everybody has a great night, and we will see you on Thursday. We will do a College World Series preview show, and we will preview those matchups that we talked about earlier for the College World Series on Tuesday, plus some news and updates as well on I said Tuesday, on Thursday night. I can't ever get days right. So
hey, shout out to Football Talk with Bo. You know, I see. Hey, shout out and Joshua Hardo as well for joining us, and everybody else who joined in. Even though you didn't comment, man, we always appreciate any feedback, any dialogue that we can get because it makes the show go. And we appreciate everybody who tunes in and who subscribes and who scans the code. Man, we're very appreciative to everyone. And look, season 2 is
absolutely. Tino was around tonight. Appreciate Tino being on. He's part of the Real Fresh channel. And then we got Joshua on with us tonight. Always appreciate Joshua being on with us. He's a huge Kentucky fan and part of our show. And then Football Talk with Bo. We appreciate Bo being on with us tonight. So you guys have a great night. We will see you on Thursday for our College World Series preview and more show.
Oh.